And I do that because if you're kind of a beginning Waistbead artist, you may not have enough inventory to take out to your event, right? So I created kind of a system as I was working, and it went like this. If you place an order with me, let's say you need three Waistbeads. So no problem, you give me your customized order, you tell me what colors you want, you tell me the inches. When I'm preparing that, I create at least, if you give me an order of 3, I create an order of 6. I'll send pictures of all 6. You get to pick your favorite 3. So every customer that has an interaction with me always leaves very satisfied because they actually chose the pieces that was customized. So what happens to the remainder 3? Guess what? They go on to the display case when I go out. So I'm always creating more pieces, but that also creates a challenge when it comes to measuring, because now I have multiple sizes and multiple strands. But for me, it's totally fine, because if you come to this display and you happen to notice that your certain inches are at or less than, I can easily adjust any strand for you right there or adjust it around your waist. So it's never a challenge here. So you can do it one or two ways. You can create strands all at the same inches and measurements and send them out there so you know exactly what's there. Or you can do a little bit of what I did, which was actually working, creating, customizing strands, and building an inventory while you're at it so that you have pieces to take out for different vending events like we're speaking about today. Okay, so the next one will be business cards. We all know why that's important, and I'll share some stories on why it came in handy for me as well later. A mirror. A mirror comes in handy. This is something that over time I realized made an ultimate difference in my business. I've started out going to some of the events with the waist trainers, noticing that people love to see themselves. I would take pictures and they'll hang on to the picture and they love it. And I also noticed that the people that would try on my items and saw themselves in the mirror, they always bought the product. They always bought the product. It just happened. So I went to one event, no mirror, no one tried anything on. I saw the difference. Went to the next event with a mirror, gave the individual, hey, free try on. You know, you can grab a free item if you would like to try this on. When they feel it, they love the way they feel in the Waistbeads. They love the way the waist trainers, you know, really helps their bodies to really just transform immediately, and they just have to take advantage of it. So having a mirror and giving the opportunity for a person to see themselves in your product as a vendor makes the ultimate difference. Having cash or change with you, obviously, most of us use different digital cards, but for those who don't, you don't want to miss that opportunity to sell if you don't have cash. An info board, depending on what your product is, for me, I like to give information about the reasons why people wear Waistbeads, and I'll include a little picture of you so you can see what I use there to display. I also like to give clarity on what each color means, so that as they're selecting or looking through, you know, the options we have here, they know exactly what they're looking for. And as they're looking, prior to them taking a look at the sizes, we've done their measurement. So we know exactly what sizes they should be looking for here. Okay, so scan code. If you use PayPal, Zelle, Cash App, Venmo, any of those, you can print out the scan code and leave it at your location. You can tape it up somewhere. So when someone's ready to buy, you make it easy for them. The reason why people don't buy often is because they're confused or it's extremely difficult for them to make the transaction. So clarity by having the info sheets and actually making the payment process simple will make all the difference for your business. Okay, so having a pouch helps because there's a lot of moving parts, and keeping something close to you while you're selling helps. Both men and women can wear pouches. A face mask, we all know why that's important. A hand sanitizer for anyone who's interested there. Measuring tape, as I mentioned, I use measuring tape for all aspects, so I have two. I have one that I wrap around my neck that people know I'm here to measure, and I also have disposable measuring tape. I'll show you guys what that looks like, so that people can measure themselves and easily take the measuring tape with them and or toss it in the trash can, social distancing purposes, of course. Another thing you like is a receipt book. This helps in the case people decide to make deposits. For me, as a Waistbead artist, people may not want exactly what I have to offer. It may be a particular color, or maybe they want stones or certain crystals. So what I like to do is actually take orders on the spot at the vending event. And in order to do so, I like to take a deposit so that way we know both of us are committed to this transaction. And I'll take their information and add it to what I like to call a blue card or info sheet. And you can capture all of their information there, take a deposit, and give them a receipt with the receipt book. So having a receipt book helps. As I mentioned, an info card, something, it's cardboard would help, something that makes it easy for you to write on, or if you have a clipboard, something where you can take information and take notes. Oftentimes when I'm out, especially for customized orders, people really describe what their intentions are, what they expect from each strand. So I have to really take note and really listen, and I have to have all of their information, their phone number, their email address, their social media contact. All of that is built into an info sheet that I use, that if indeed I need to take an order, I'm ready to go. Another thing would be a fix-it kit. A fix-it kit would be for those who add clasps to their waist beads. So you see here, a lot of my pieces, they do not come with clasp, or some of them do. So if I have a clasp on one end, I may leave the other end open because I'm uncertain of the size of the woman. So I'll leave the other end open, but then at the event, I have to now put on the other end so that they can close the clasp and they're fitted and ready to go. So in that case, I'll leave one end open, but I'll take my fix-it kit with me so that I can add any clasp possible on the other end. You have a few pliers, you'll bring your super glue in that kit. I just leave a few things, scissors, a tape that you need for taping anything up in your vending section too. That always helps. Another thing will be free sweets. So I call it free sweets because it could mean anything. For me, these are high chews. You guys may have heard of high chews. It's one of those things that people, or I'll speak for myself, they're very addictive candy. Like you have one, you want more. So I like to have the high chews because every time I've given someone a high chew, they've come back to ask me about these high chews. So I think they're fun to have out because it serves as a way for people to remember me and my business by having a high chew. So I often use high chews because they're amazing, they taste great, and people love them, and it's a great way for people to identify with my business as well because it's a rare candy that they don't often find but everyone loves. Next one will be an assistant. I talked to you guys a little bit about that before. I mentioned ask a friend if they could help. If you have an amazing husband who can be there to support you. If you have someone to be by your side. You can definitely go to an event by yourself. It's been done before. I've done it before. But if you do have the flexibility or someone can help, go ahead and ask for some help. And depending on your products, you'll know where you need the most help and you can prepare that person with those items. So pay based on profit. Yep. So giving out free merchandise, as I mentioned. So having a few freebies. So it could be candy. It could be, hey, if you follow me, you can get a free measurement. You can give them an info sheet. You can give them free anklets if you happen to have a free, those. So just have fun with that. Give people a reason to come to you.